Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Julie Moraitis.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Julie.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're good.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about you, kind of like, what do you do?
Yeah, so my name's Julie. I'm a realtor. I live in Northville, Michigan, which is southeastern Michigan, kind of midway between Detroit and Ann Arbor. And I live here in Northville with my family. My husband, Lee, is in the business too.
That's awesome.
And I live here with two of my three daughters. My girls are getting older now. One's in Chicago now. She's 23. And then I have two daughters at home. Megan's 21. Lauren's 17.
Awesome.
In addition to a realtor, I'm also a team leader. I'm a certified mentor with my brokerage, which is eXp Realty. So I do mentor new agents. So that's totally gratifying. I love helping them get their start because it's not easy. There's a lot to learn.
Yep.
You never stop learning in this business. So we have an office here locally, and we built up a group of about 150 agents, not only here locally in Southeast Michigan, that's where the majority are, but also across the country. So I have agents in Florida, California, Arizona, Pennsylvania, soon to be Connecticut.
Nice.
And so it's a partnership with these agents in that I don't manage their real estate business per se, but we're all part of eXp Realty. And
awesome.
It's just a way to grow myself beyond real estate transactions and build up some residual income for myself and my family. So that's been super exciting.
Sweet. That's super exciting. So how did you get into real estate? Like how did that start?
Oh yeah. Okay. So we'll go back a little bit. First of all, I've been entrepreneurial my entire life. Went to college, went to University of Michigan, go blue, spent 4 years there, went to business school there. Job market was tough coming out in, we're going to go way back to 1990. But so interestingly enough, I met my husband. We knew each other at University of Michigan, never dated. Well, that's a story for another day, but he was in the restaurant business. So his family owned a pizza franchise here in the Detroit area. And so I kind of got into the family business with him. And so honestly, like since high school, like I've never worked for anybody in my life per se. Like I've never had a W-2 job.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the way I like it, so restaurant business. So we were doing that. We moved to Austin for a while, stayed in the restaurant business. Circumstances brought us back to Michigan, and we got out of that business after owning several restaurants.
Okay.
We wanted to start a family. Restaurant business.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Your nights and weekends. Well, here I am, a real estate agent talking about nights and weekends. But anyway, we got into the mortgage business. So came back to Michigan, like had no idea what we were doing. And like, we got to do something. And so we had an extremely lucrative real estate business. He started with another company, ended up opening our own mortgage brokerage. But at the time I was raising the kids. Like I was just getting, having my girls. But I was always there. I was always the girl Friday. Like I was always the girl helping with the mortgage stuff, whether it was, the closings, got involved in title, all those things. But, I was so hands-on with my kids and we were doing great. Everything was awesome. So gosh, looking back, I wish I had gotten my license way back then, but didn't. And then 2008 happened. So everything came to a screeching halt and crashed and all the things. And we reinvented ourselves. And my husband opened a real estate transaction management platform company called Realty Commander. And we had subscribers from all over the country. And it kind of lived its useful life, and we sold it off actually to Showing Time. So there's always a story of reinvention, right? And we thought selling that company would be like our retirement income, and it didn't turn out that way. So now my girls are older. It's like, what's the next obvious
Yeah.
path to take,
What's the
right? I
next
already
step?
know everything about mortgage and title, and
Right.
the only difference is I never went out and showed homes. So that was like 6 years ago. So I've been licensed about 6 years,
Okay.
and so you know, not not a lifer by any stretch, but all that background knowledge has really helped me with that. So that was the
Yeah.
next obvious step, and it was a good one. It was a great one. At that point in my life, I knew a lot of people, my kids' friends, my neighbors, all the things. And it was, so I got off to a pretty good start right out of the bat, just because all the contacts we already had, both personally and in business. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's where I got my start. So yeah, 6 years in, and here we are.
Yeah. So how'd that first year go in real estate? Because you already had like a lot of experience with like
Yeah.
all the other kind of sides of it. Like, how did that
Yeah,
first
it
year
was
go for you?
good. I had a really good first year. I honestly did. I was very, very happy with it. I've continued to grow since there, but I capped. I think I did 32 transactions my first year. So that,
Not
I mean,
bad.
for me being new, but like I said, just I think the advantage of being older, getting my start, and going into it full time.
Uh-huh.
Because I
Yeah.
know it's tough sometimes. People come in, get their license, and try to give a go part-time. Not that it's not doable,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, especially in this market, the way things are with inventory being low and homes going so quickly,
Yeah.
it's tough. Because most agents come in starting with buyers. And so it's a lot of extra work. You're going to miss out on a few, not
Yep.
get a few offers accepted. But yeah, so had a good, strong first year, very encouraging. And I was super happy. I started at Keller Williams. It was a good couple years there, I guess 3 years there-ish. And then things kind of changed a little bit and changed to a different brokerage, and kind of changed the way we were doing things, and changing our focus too on how we were earning our income.
Yeah, for sure. So how'd you get from that first year, like doing 32 transactions, you said, and then like now having a whole team of people now? Like, when did you decide to add somebody
I
on?
mean,
Like,
it was
where did
all
that go?
me. It's always kind of, I mean, honestly, we're just starting a personal production team, and we can talk about that. But it was all my own doing. And I think having a large family and a lot of friends, a lot of past neighbors, but it took, you really have to put yourself out there in the beginning. You can't be a secret agent. Like, you have to
Yeah.
let people know you're in the business.
Yeah.
And I tell my new agents now, because there's all these lead generation strategies being thrown at you. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, because if it helped me. I actually ran Facebook ads in the first year. I learned how to do it. I took a course, I learned how to do it. And I got a lot of my business that way. But the most enjoyable, the best business is your sphere of influence. It's who you already know and who they know.
Yeah.
It just makes for a more enjoyable, relaxing, I would say, they already know, like, and trust you, because they've been told you're the one they should work with. You're not competing for listings as much, and you're not trying to, get to know a person, like cold market, like never met you before. There's a lot involved on the front end to get them to know, like, trust you, and continue to work with you, So I did a lot of that, just reaching out to everybody I knew and letting them know I was in the business, and asking for their help, because people want to help you. People
Yeah.
want to help you succeed. It's people like, oh, they'd rather go with a cold lead than ask their friends and family for business. It's like, you guys, they want to help you.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
but
going to be
I'm
your number
new,
one
all the
supporters.
things.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 So let's say you had to start over today, like with those newer agent, like how would you do anything differently? What would you tell a new agent, like right now, it's starting
Yeah.
out? What would they do?
Yeah. So let's go back to, the sphere of influence thing, and take it a step further, because, it's all about giving back. It's
Mhm.
all about being out there in the community. And if people can see you as someone who's out there helping other local businesses succeed, like, that's gold. And so I would say, so my husband's working on another business right now, and it's called Town Sites. And so what it is you set up a community site on Facebook, right? So mine is Northville Now. And this community site is tied to an actual website. It syndicates right from the Facebook group to this community website. All the community events, everything syndicates like almost like a blog without you having to touch it.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
as agents, we're supposed to be doing real estate, right?
Yep.
Who's going to do all the marketing? Who's going to do the blog? And so it's kind of like does it for you. And in addition, you go out into the community and do local videos. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like you just go out to dinner and video the food. Hey, if you happen to catch the owner there and he wants to say a few words, throw something together, and just being out there helping. So not only sphere of influence, but like business to business,
Yeah.
it's so important. And if you can get into real estate and like really put your arms around that and get that community feel and everybody seeing you out there helping, I would have done more of that in the beginning, as far as that goes. And also, I'm also teaching my agents, we talk about it. We say, you got to use go to your friends, your family, your sphere of influence first, but it's done haphazardly, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm going to focus on that. But how am I going to focus on that? So I teach them all. We call it the 8651. It's doing 86 deals a year. Stick with me here. Working with 50 people, not 35, not 62, 50 people.
Okay.
And there's a complete tracker. It tracks everything. You're going to touch all 50 every month.
Mhm.
Every single month, all 50 get touched, whether it's belly to belly's best. You take them out to lunch, you take them to coffee, you drop off something at their house, or you do one huge event, right? You do a Thanksgiving pie giveaway. You do last year we did Christmas photos in November, right? We set up a whole kind of area behind. We actually used someone's home on my team and, set up this cute area in front of some pine trees. We had hot chocolate and cupcakes, and past clients just came out and got their Christmas card pictures taken. What a big relief, right? Nobody's even thought about that at Thanksgiving. It's like, oh, now what? So that was huge. So, but it's a methodical way to make sure that you're doing it. We all know sphere of influence is number one. So how are we going to focus on it? And so that's what we teach our team.
I like that, how you guys are doing that. It's so creative in a way to keep building that relationship, but it's not your typical way to do it. So that's really neat that you guys are doing that.
It's like give to get. It's like, it's that belly to belly thing, and I feel like sometimes the younger generations, that part's missing a little bit, you guys. You can't just text your clients, you know. You can't just text them, like, you got to get in front of them, and that's super important. And the faster people can start out with that mindset and do those things, success will just come.
Yeah,
if you stick with it. Yeah.
So let's change it around a little bit to from newer agents to now. What are some of your goals you got coming up for the next year or so?
Yeah. So like I said, we've got about 150 agents all out doing real estate, and, we participate in that commission. My brokerage is a little bit different model in that our commission money, our cap money we pay in, goes back to the agents, which is super cool. So our goal is, my husband and I have a goal of 350 agents by the end of next year.
Nice.
So we want to at least double what we have. And that comes not just from our efforts, it's from the agents on our team also recognizing that we have another additional kind of stream of income, if you will.
Yeah.
Being a fully commission-based household it's not for the, faint of heart. And so that's kind of why, like I said, my husband, we've got the town sites thing going, and we're also looking to keep building our group and helping our agents build their group, because that only helps them too. And so then, because what happens if the market shifts? I always think, what happens if something happens to me, like physically?
Yeah.
Takes me out of the game, takes me out of real estate, you know? So, our goal is just to kind of keep building up that team of agents, and then really helping them, the ones that want to, not everyone's looking to build that. Some people do want to just be a transactional agent, and that's fine. It's the entrepreneurial ones that I'm working with. So it's a handful. It's a handful that is helping us grow, because we didn't build this by ourselves. We built this with people that we brought in, and then in turn, they brought in as well. And it's a win-win.
Are these, when you guys are growing your team, I know you mentioned earlier, you have a bunch of people out of state as well. when you mention growing it, is this strictly Michigan, or are you talking about all over? All over.
All over the country, and we're in, I keep losing track, we're in like 18 countries now.
Wow.
0 countries when I joined, 18. Now it's worldwide. We're going to have 1 million agents, in time. So it's just...
it's coming fast.
Yeah.
It's going to come fast and furious, faster and faster. It's just going to exponentially grow. So it's really fun to see. It's great to be part of something bigger than just, what's my next listing or who's my next buyer.
Yeah.
Because it's a hamster wheel. You got to start over. You got to start over every month. And, that's the other thing I will tell agents. You can't just get so busy in your business that you're not building up for the next month. But that, over time, I'm no spring chicken, guys. It's like, I'm not like a 21-year-old busting out of the gates of college. It's something where I look to the future, and I love real estate. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love what I do. But, that's a part of me that says, it would sure be nice to take that pressure off a little bit, especially in the summers, because that's when I'm the busiest.
Yep.
And Michigan summers are really, really short. Right?
Way too short, in my opinion.
Way too short. It's like, oh my gosh, it's almost August. And I start to panic.
Yeah.
Wait, it just started.
I know. I looked at the date today and I did the same thing.
Grinding it out, So it's kind of crazy.
I'm sure that you've seen your fair share of worst properties or maybe worst listings that you've been to or showing. What is the one that sticks out to you most?
Okay. This one's not necessarily the property per se.
Okay.
It's not really. The house is great.
Okay.
So follow along here. This is an Ann Arbor house. So the house was great. House was great. We got under contract and did the inspection, and everything was pretty good in the inspection, moving along. And I remember we went to just investigate the crawl space just a little bit further, just to make sure there's no moisture and
right.
Did it need to be encapsulated and all the things. We brought out one of those foundation companies just to check it out. And a couple days later, I get a phone call from the home inspector who did the general home inspection. And he said, I've got a little bit of disturbing news for you about this property. This is 9:00 at night. I'm like, what can he be telling me like
at this late at night?
Yeah, obviously it couldn't
6-7 days later
right?
about this house that he didn't tell me when we were there. Well, it turns out he was on a home inspection that day of the night he called me, and he was with some buyers who had walked away from this house and they were on to another house. And he shared with me that the owner was murdered in the home.
Oh my.
And left in the crawl space where we had
where you guys just were. Oh my goodness.
Wrapped in a tarp, left in the crawl space. So that story haunts me to this day. And
did the home inspector find him?
No, he didn't. He was just hearing a third party story on his next home inspection from these buyers who I think they probably just Googled it because the information was there on Google about this person was awaiting trial still for this act. And so the house did sell, not to my client. My client walked away. Big reason was she was going to rent out part of it. Maybe even an Airbnb type situation potentially, because it had some private space. And so just with the stigma that would have been around it, it would have kind of bumped her out. So I think it was a combination of both things. It just,
how chilling though. Yeah,
it is. And, I think it happens, that people spend their last days in their home, but when it's something like that, it was pretty, it spooked us out pretty much. So, but it did eventually sell. It did, but
that's good. That's probably someone never knew.
Probably.
Well, what was that?
Probably someone who didn't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
because you don't have to disclose that, right?
I mean, my client said I would have Googled it. I would have Googled that owner at some point because, you can do that. You can find their name on the purchase agreement and Google anybody. So it might have been caught before we closed, but probably someone that didn't know or didn't mind. It's not like the end of the world. It was just for her purposes. It was more the stigma that would have prevented the rentals, but it's still kind of spine chilling to me when I think about it.
Yeah, it is. Man.
Yeah, that's crazy. What is one of your favorite books that you've read?
Oh my gosh. I still go back to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
Just because it helps you both personally and in business, professionally. It's just like a guidepost of like, it's kind of like how to live your life. You got your 7 principles: be proactive, start with the end in mind, put the first things first, put your family, God and family first, think win-win, sharpen the saw, all the things. And it's got great stories in it. And it's just really, like I said, a guidepost to operate with integrity and fairness and honesty. And it's just all around a great book. It's not like, I don't think it's either a business. I don't think it's really a business book. It kind of is, but it's just, it helps you in all areas.
Yeah.
So it's my favorite.
Awesome. How can people get a hold of you?
Call me.
I like it. What's your number?
Yeah. You can put my number on here, can't you, afterwards?
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, call me. I mean, I would say website, but why would you do that when you can just give me a call? You can, look me up on Facebook. It's just me, my name. I have a business page, Julie Moraitis, the Luxe Group. So we call our team the Luxe Group, LUXE. That's our kind of our local team. Mm-hmm. Even around the country, people use it and brand it. I just really like it. I like to kind of focus on the luxury end of things. And so we are the Luxe Group. You can find me on Facebook, also on Instagram, just Julie A. Moraitis. So you can find me there. But hey, pick up the phone and call me. I'd love to hear from you. So
I like it. Awesome.
That's the best. And I want to thank you guys. Let's talk about like houses I've been to, and like my clients go, man, this looks so much better in the pictures. I'm like, I know, Windows still did it, It's like, you could like take any house and, it's funny because there's 2 ways. Sometimes it's like the house looks better in person and sometimes it just looks really bad. But I mean, you guys rock. I don't know how you keep going. Like every other listing I see on the MLS is a window still listing. You can pick it out a mile away, first of all, but just
thank you.
And you don't skip a beat. Like you're just doing more business. It's like I have my photo. I can schedule them for the next day and get it because all the photographers are awesome.
Yep.
I can then get the photos the very next morning. Like I don't know how you guys just your level of service just stays the same.
Thank you.
And your marketing sites, like I have a whole marketing site like at my fingertips. So kudos to you. I see you guys are killing it for a reason.
We're trying.
Great. So
we appreciate it a lot.
And thanks for giving back to us and giving me this opportunity to talk to you today. I really appreciate it.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Are these working?
All right.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
it might be there.
It might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah, and it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review for listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars, guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.